Hey everyone, it's Thursday of November, whatever, and I am so excited to be doing a makeup tutorial with the fabulous, amazing Kai Washington, who is a film and television makeup artist who has like all of the tea on all of the people and the things. And so she's like the person, hi, I love you. My cousin just hopped on, so family love. So she has like the greatest stories of, doing makeup for different actors, actresses, politicians, and she's just so fun to talk to. Her name's Kai Washington, and her company is Modern Green Goddess. She not only works for Beautycounter, she also has her own clean beauty company. So she's got 3 jobs. She does film, television. I think right now she might be doing Good Morning America. And then she hires artists who are clean, who only use clean products, and she sends them out all around the country to do jobs. And then she also works for Beautycounter. She's so fascinating. She's also an aromatherapist. She's also she knows everything about tea. It's like she's joining. It's incredible how much she likes to sip tea and spill tea. So I'm super excited. Hi.
Hi!
Good
Everyone,
morning.
look at my unmade up face, up close and personal.
And it still glows. Somehow you still drip with all that melanin. Hi. I was just saying that you know a lot about tea. You like to sip it and spill it, and so maybe you'll
Word, all of that.
I want you to tell some. I want you to talk about John Hamm.
You want me to talk about what? John Hamm?
Oh yes. Every time he rolls into town and he does makeup.
He's really actually very sweet.
Oh, I'm sure.
I did his makeup and his then girlfriend at the time. Yeah, and then I did his makeup again when he was on when they were ending Mad Men and all that, and then I did his makeup again a few years later. He's really cool.
Is he so cute? Is he cute? I mean,
he's
as cute.
Gorgeous. And he skips makeup. He literally they hire makeup for him, but unless he's going on TV, when he did Kennedy Center Honors, he wore makeup, but other times, if he's just walking the car, he's I don't need any makeup.
No, he does not.
Enjoy the money,
That's so funny. Even my husband, even David's that is a good looking man. And one time somebody said to my husband, you look like John Hamm, and he has never forgotten it. He has he's brought it up quite a few times. I'm like, oh please. Also one time we met Don Lemon. Have you ever done his makeup?
I've done his makeup one time. So Don Lemon he was in Atlanta, and now he's in New York. So he only comes to DC. He's in DC a lot now because of politics.
Yeah.
But he only comes every once in a while.
Yeah.
So when I worked at CNN, and now I'm at ABC doing Good Morning America, World News Tonight. But when I was at CNN, he he would come for all the big political stuff, but usually now he's in New York, so I don't see him as much, but he's a cool guy.
He's so sweet. He's really sweet. I met him once, and he said when Dave walked up, he goes, now you are a handsome fella. And Dave was like,
he's a flirt.
He's a flirt. And so I'm like, this is so funny. So Dave is like, if I get a little sassy every now and then, doesn't happen often, yeah, right? He's like, just so you know, Don Lemon thinks I'm a good-looking guy. So it's very funny. So I'm ready. I'm so excited.
Let's do it. Your skin looks gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you.
You look amazing.
Thanks. Oh, you're so
You
nice.
guys, so my skin actually doesn't look too bad right now. I'm recovering because my skin was literally perfect and glowy, and sometimes I will wake up and be like, who is that? Because of our amazing vitamin C serum. Well, because I'm a makeup artist, I get sent a lot of products. Somebody sent me a different one when I ran out of my Beautycounter one, and I tried it all last month, and I'm paying for it now because I'm really, really sensitive, and the Beautycounter one is so good for sensitive skin. And so I have a lot of reactions. So now I have some spots. But the good news is I can show you guys how to cover those up if you have spots. So I am loving it for that. But I've only been back on it for a couple of weeks, and my skin is looking so much better. I will never switch.
Well, and not all clean products are made the same. Just because
Yeah.
it's clean doesn't mean that it's high performing. And like you're the person that one of the people that taught me really early on, because you were exposed to all the regular high end makeup, all makeup. You have so many years of experience, and then all of the clean products. And like hearing you say like Full Stop Beauty Counter makes the most superior products that there are out there, like is voter confidence for me. So I learn a lot from you.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it's an advantage of being an artist is we do get sent a lot of product. So
Yeah.
usually if a makeup artist says something is good, that means they've tried a lot of products
Yeah,
and
sure.
weeded it out. So
Sure.
trust when I say the All Bright C Serum, best on the market,
Girl,
especially if you have
it's
sensitive skin.
Yeah.
So I love that we're doing this because we're two different skin tones, but also we're two different skin types. So we can kind of speak to, while we're doing our makeup, I hope you guys join in and do your makeup too. We can kind of speak to what works for us and what techniques work for us. So I am like normal. I'm slightly oily. I used to be really oily, but my skin's pretty balanced now because of like using face oils. So I'm pretty normal, slightly towards the oily side, and I'm prone to clogged pores sometimes, and I'm sensitive. And I'm not like a girl who's reactive. Reactive is just like if you put too much stuff in your skincare and then your skin barrier breaks down, but you can build it back up. I'm actually sensitive, meaning like since birth. You know, like one of those people that's always like itchy, rashy, that kind of thing. That's me. So, I also made a commitment to myself a long time ago to not use retinol or injections or anything like that, just because of my health issues. So I had to find other ways to get all the anti-aging goodness. Yeah. So that's kind of my background when we're talking about skin. What's your skin like?
So I have always been just normal, non-reactive, like just normal. Like I hate saying it because I know people who have had acne are like, shut up. But I mean, I could probably count the zits in my life. Like I just have had normal skin. Now, I will say when I moved to DC, I was dry. I was constant, like scary dry, like oh, this is making me look ultra dry. And now I've come here into LA and I am oily around here like I've never been in my life. So it also could be hormones. It also could be, 41 and but so right now I would just say I'm combo.
Okay, your combo. Yeah, and it depends on where you live too. That will affect your skin. So like when I'm in like Arizona, God, I miss Arizona. My skin is like perfect, and I'm like, I should move here just for the, like the air is like perfect for my glow, and it's awesome. But like depending on where you are, your skin's gonna change.
Right.
So let's talk shop. We're gonna do our complexion for you guys, and then we're gonna play with the palette, right?
Yes.
Yep.
We are.
So, okay. So we're both going to do our makeup and kind of talk to you guys about what we do. I started with skin prep. My skin prep is what I do every day for my skincare anyways, and my makeup lays really nice on top. And so I just use a basic toner every morning, like witch hazel or something, like boring. My fancy one is I use at night. And I use the Counter Control anti-acne serum, and then I use the vitamin C serum. And then on top of that, I use my favorite thing, I talked about it in my post today, which is the Counter Man oil-free face moisturizer. And then I add my oil drops to that moisturizer. So I'll use something like balancing oil if I need to be balanced. The number 2 oil is my personal favorite because it's very plumping and juicy. And right now, because of the vitamin C oil, the vitamin C serum, it's making me less sensitive. So now I'm able to venture out into other stuff like the brightening oil. I've been playing with that. So mixing that with my moisturizer. And I like to do that because I feel like my makeup goes on better with this foundation when it's suspended in moisturizer versus just straight oil, which is what I used to do.
Yeah.
What about you?
That's good. So I'm just very simple. Like I use, like you, I use Counter Time, and then I use the vitamin C serum. And to me, that's, I mean, honestly, my skin has never looked better. And people will say, "Oh my God, your skin!" And I'm like, I did not look glowy before the C serum. It is crack cocaine. I will never live without it.
Me neither.
Um,
I wish they made it in like a whole, like a jumbo size so I could put it all over my body. It's insane. Yeah.
Correct. So I do that, the moisturizer for counter time, and then I go. So
Okay.
I will do what you tell me to do.
So we're just gonna start with foundation. I'm gonna use Skin Twin, or what are you using?
Oh,
okay.
Love it. This is the other thing. I think it's the best foundation I've ever used in my life.
Me too. This is definitely, I'm doing like a products of the year next month. It will be like my series on my Instagram, and this will definitely be on there. This is the first year in 5 years, if you've been following me, that my foundation ever switched, because it was Tint Skin before for 5 years in a row, but this has topped it. So what I like about this, I'm gonna just take some out, is that it's full of hyaluronic acid. So it makes your skin like really plumpy, but it doesn't, it's not greasy.
Yep.
And so for a person like me who, I'm using like a pump.
Yeah.
I think I'm just using a pump, maybe a pump and a half on my hand.
Yep.
And I just like kind of smush it everywhere. But the reason why I love using hyaluronic acid is because I like my skin, again, I want to look like 20 because I am not. And it just makes my skin look really plump and hydrated, but it doesn't add that oil. Mm-hmm. And hyaluronic acid cleans better to moisturizer to me than heavy oils. So that's why I like to use the oil-free moisturizer. And I'm going to use
the blender,
the new Better Blender. You want to completely soak this in water, you guys. Like, this is how I like to use it. Like, soak it in water and then squeeze it all the way out, and then it'll turn this huge size. And I'm going to use like the little butt side of it and like bounce it into my skin. So you can get different coverage depending on what tool you use. So if you use the blender, you're gonna get like sheer to medium coverage. You can definitely layer it for more. If you use your fingers, you're gonna get a solid like medium coverage. And if you use a foundation brush, you can get like full glam coverage. So anytime I have like a photo shoot or something like that to do on myself, because I have hyperpigmentation, I will use a brush. But for my everyday makeup, I really like this freaking sponge. And let me tell you guys something. I'm really picky about sponges. I try them all the time. And out of like the 30 I've tried, I've tried at least 30. This one is probably my favorite ever. It's gonna give you the same, it's literally like the same finish as a beauty blender, which is like the best one, except it's a little bit better because of the way that it's shaped, and because you can use it with dry powder, which I'm going to show you guys, which is actually my favorite way to use the sponge. So I just kind of like push it in.
Wet this every day with water and squeeze it.
Yep, and I squeeze it all the way out, and then I just use the little, I call it the butt. The little butt is going to give you like sheer to medium. If you need to like really pack it on, you can use this like flat side of the sponge, and it'll give you more coverage. But I just because I wash this every day to make sure you don't get bacteria. So when if you wash it, then it'll be wet anyways, and you can just go in and use it clean. But so you just want to wet and squeeze it out, and you'll notice the difference because it'll turn really soft and squishy. I don't know how she did this, but it's really good, and all my makeup artist friends are freaking out over it.
That's so cool.
It's amazing. So I just did one little coat, and I feel like that looks pretty good. I'm going to use my concealer for spots that I need to kind of brighten or cover up. So I actually use 2 concealers. Hey there, Clean and Unfiltered wants to know, what do I wash my beauty blender with? I either use Dr. Bronner's like pastel soap. I always have that in my house. I either have plain or lavender in my house all the time, and it gets it completely clean. And I also really like the Beauty Counter baby wash. I always have that too. I use it to clean my brushes as well. So either one of those will work. So I actually use 2 concealers, and most of my clients have 2 concealers, and here's why. The lighter one is to brighten around my eyes, and the darker one is for like dark spots, red spots, blemishes, and things like that. And the reason why I have one that's a little bit deeper is because if you have a blemish or a dark spot, you don't want to make it look bright and luminous. Like, you don't want to bring attention to it. You want it to kind of fade into the background. Now, for some people, you might not have as dark as spots as me, so you might not need to, but this has worked really well for me. My shade is 460 in Skin Twin. What's your shade?
I am tan 420.
420. And so in these, I am tan 2 under the eye, and then I'm actually dark 2 in the concealer. And so the concealers are a lot lighter than they look.
Yeah.
So make sure whoever, you know, if Keisha's your consultant, or if I'm your consultant, or if you're looking for, you have a consultant and you need help, that you get them to help you, because I'm not in the dark category. I'm a solid tan, you know, but for the concealer, I definitely needed to go darker. So I'm just kind of literally striping this on. This is the darker concealer where I have dark spots. And then I'm going to go in with my lighter concealer and do around the eyes. So how do you do yours?
So I have questions for you.
Yes.
So I have the concealer you have. I'm just finishing up our old concealer, which is so beautiful. But then this happened, the one you're using. It's unbelievable. Like,
it's really good.
Cannot believe how good it is. And I let my daughter have it, and now I can't find it. So I'll be and I'm so upset because I don't want to live without it. But I wanted to know, do you put concealer on? Like, I've heard people say put concealer on before foundation, but the majority of people I've heard the reverse. What do you do?
So I think it's different for every person. I like to put my concealer on after foundation for this reason. I like to get the most coverage possible from the thinnest product, because I think it looks more natural. So foundation is thinner than concealer. Concealer has a thicker consistency.
Right.
And P.S. if you have really dark circles, the longer you leave this on, the better. Like, you can like leave it and then it'll like thicken up a little, and then you can like blend it out. Right. So, you know, last night I had takeout and I had a Coke. So my under eye is cray. I was supposed to make dinner if you guys, if any of you guys look at my stories, but that didn't happen because the ingredient I was going to use for pasta went bad. So anyways, so you can use this sponge, and you're going to get like, again, sheer to medium coverage with this. You can use your fingers. You're going to get good medium coverage. If you need full coverage, you can use some sort of brush. So I really like any type of brush that kind of goes to like a tapered tip to like really give me a lot of coverage. You can also use a flat brush like this. This is from Beauty Counter, and just like lightly tap. The key with the concealer is to like tap the product in on your face. Under your eye, you can kind of like get in there, but on your face, you're trying to cover all the woes of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you don't really want to, you don't want to swipe too hard because you're going to rub the concealer off. You really want to just like lightly tap it in. So yeah, so everybody does it different. I know people who do concealer the other way, like first, but what I found with me is, maybe I'm heavy-handed, I don't know, is that I feel like if I do that, I'll use too much concealer. And then I feel like my makeup looks like, sorry, I have like a little hair there. It looks too overdone. And don't get me wrong, like I love a good glam look, but I don't like my skin to look like it's packed with product. I like to save that for like highlighter, blush, etc. Like, I like to be glam with color, but I like my skin to still look natural.
Right. Will you look at my face and tell me if I need more?
I would say in the inner corner, like right in the inner well of your eye, I would do more concealer. And most people forget to do right here, and that's like the spot that makes you look the brightest. And also, I was doing a makeup lesson last week, and we were talking about one of the biggest differences you can see when you use concealer is if you use it on your eyelids. So if you've never tried concealing your eyelids, it's like game changer. So this client of mine went from looking like super tired. She has, like 4 kids, and she was like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
She went from looking super tired to super, like she got a full 8 hours of sleep by just tapping concealer on her lids. And just a little bit of concealer underneath her eyes. And she looked like a new person. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe how awake I look. So do not forget that part. That is, to me, is one of the inner corner here, and the lids are the most important places to conceal, because that's what's going to make you look like you got the most sleep the fastest.
Okay.
And if you have oily skin like me, like my skin leans a little towards the oily side, especially when I wear makeup. Set your makeup. If you have dry skin, you don't have to do this at all. But this is my favorite way to use a sponge, you guys. This like blew my mind. So I'm gonna take, first of all, if you want to feel like $1 million, get yourself a really fancy container for no reason and put your loose powder in it. Like my life. It makes me so happy to do my makeup. What'd you say?
Is it the mattifying powder?
Yeah, it's just like mattify powder. So I like to take this and use the slanted side. You guys. So this really sets the makeup. You can see I'm just like tapping off the excess in my little guy here. But this is how I love to set my makeup now. I might have too much on here, but I'll take, so it's really important to set around your eyes first because it creases. So I just take that flat side and like press the powder in. And what the sponge does that's different from a brush is it sets the makeup, but it looks completely powderless. Like it looks like you have no powder on at all. It's amazing. So it's like it sets your makeup, but your glow still remains.
I cannot even get over your skin right now. My God.
Thank you. But it's makeup and a lot of good skincare.
Wow.
But, so if you have any areas, any lawns, like me, like here, I like press the powder in the line, because what happens is makeup gets caught in them. So if you press in any of the areas where you're a little bit creasy, it'll stop the makeup from settling into the lines. So the powder will help if you use it with something like this damp sponge. If you use the powder and you use like a brush and you put too much on, it'll actually have the opposite effect, where it'll make you kind of look kind of old and crepey. But this, oh my gosh, look at it. Like, look how good my skin looks. And it doesn't look like I have any powder on.
It's not.
This is probably my favorite way to use the sponge. I'm like addicted.
Oh.
And I hate putting on powder with a brush now. I'm like, oh, where's my sponge? It's so good.
Check my eye wells. Do I need more?
No, I think you're good. Make sure you just have it blended up into your lashes. But I think it looks really good.
I have this like, I don't know if you can see it, but I have this like line that's just kind of like, I don't know how to even describe it, but Oprah has it. If you look at Oprah's face when she smiles, like there's this divot, this line, and as I get getting older, I have it. I can't explain it, but I just call it my Oprah.
Well, if Oprah has it, it must be good luck. So let's just go with that. I mean, come on, it's Oprah.
But no, I'm okay with it. Okay.
Yeah, that looks really good. So, okay, yeah, your skin's looking good. So I'm just gonna quickly, and I mean really quickly, because I know we have lots to cover, add some bronzer. I don't live life ever without bronzer or highlights, just like my thing. So I'm gonna use the, this is the Beauty Counter fan brush. I should have showed you it before I dirtied it up with bronzer. But I'm using Cabana, which is my favorite because it's warm and cool mix, so you can kind of contour and bronze with it. But I love this freaking brush because it's a fan brush, but it's really fluffy, and that's important because that diffuses products better than those like really skinny fans.
Okay.
And so I'm just going to take it under my cheekbones, because wherever you put the brush first, you're going to get the most coverage. And I want my cheekbones to be chiselly. Do you have a looser brush?
I have one. And you told me to buy this, and I've never used it because I'm like, I don't know what to do with bronzer. So
yeah, you need a big brush.
Okay, I need a big
Otherwise it's gonna be harder to blend. But see how like mine is just like gliding across my face? That's not skill, that's the brush.
Okay,
So you just kind of want to get it in there. And if you put too much bronzer on, if you're doing your makeup along with us, it's really easy to fix. Just take your sponge that has makeup on it and just like go back over the bronzer and it'll like blend it right in. So don't freak out about it if you like, you know, I do it all the time. I'm a bronzer heavy person. I like to be really bronze. So sometimes I go too far and I'll just take my little sponge and everything is right with the world. You can even slightly contour your nose with this brush by using the edge. If you want like a little, just really quickly. But I love a good bronzer. And I have like a 5 head. So if you put the bronzer around here, it kind of brings the forehead down a little bit. You know, so it's not so in your face. It looks good on Iman, but you know, whatever. I'm not Iman. So there's complexion. You're looking pretty. Let's see what you got going there. Yeah, I like it. Your skin is killing me right now. The glow is insane. It's so beautiful. Okay, so let's do, I was going to do this off camera because usually it takes me a long time, but I'm going to try to suck it up and do it really fast. Let's do some brow.
Okay.
So we have brow gel and then we have brow pencil. So I would say brow gel is really good for someone like me because I have pretty full brows. Keisha has nice full brows too. If you have like super skinny brows, you might want to get a pencil just to fill in certain spaces. And a pencil is good also for someone like for me. I have like a few missing spots from a bad wax like over a decade ago and they never grew back. So I like to kind of go in with the pencil really quickly and fill in the bald spots. And then I do the rest of it with my brow gel. Sometimes I just do brow gel too. And during, you know, COVID and everything, I've been like basically living in the invisible brow gel, which is colorless, because it just holds my eyebrow in place and makes it look a little bit better without having to like do major work, you know?
Yep. And how do you taught me once, how do you get excess, whether it's mascara or brow gel, you got a little clump. How do you take that?
So when I put the brow gel on, my first thing, usually, this one's like almost dead, but I always scrape the excess off. I don't go in just because you never know with a brush what it's going to give you. One day it'll give you barely anything, and the next day you're like, oh my gosh, that was too much. I always like to have like a spare, like I have one of these little spoolie things, and then you can just kind of brush the excess off, but I always brush a little off first. Also, if you use these, know that these also run a little bit dark. So even though I have pretty dark brows, I'm using the color light to fill in my brow.
Oh, interesting. I use medium.
Yeah, well, for you, medium makes sense because you have like dark hair. Your eyebrows are darker. But I use light, and I also use medium when I want my brow to be more dramatic, but most people are like a lighter medium. Dark is almost the same color as medium, to be honest, so if you get it, it's the same as medium. And then the darkest one, the soft black, is for someone who has actual black hair. Like if you are like Native or Asian American or Asian, you know, like South Asian, a lot of girls have like actual black hair. Then you would use that one, but I mainly every day use this one, which is light. Beautiful. Yeah. All right, let's do some makeup.
Yes, let's do it.
I mean, we are doing makeup, but let's do some color.
Okay.
Okay. So, have you been playing with the palette?
This is my
so we're gonna play with this palette, you guys. This is the Golden Hour All-in-One palette. It's been so fun to play with. And also, I just want to let you guys know that this palette, if you buy this, 10% of it goes to charity to help support like child labor incentives. So this is a way for you to give back too. So this is a complete palette. It has a highlighter, it has a blush, and then it has some eyeshadows. So I think we're going to start with some blush first and some highlight. And then I'm going to go smoky with mine.
Okay.
Because I haven't done smoky yet. So I'm going to show you guys that. And then you can show me what you, like, we can talk about what you want to do. Or if you want to go smoky with me, let's do it, you know?
Awesome.
So I'm going to use the Angled Beauty Counter blush brush. And I'm going to use the color Horizon. So I'm just going to tap in there a couple times. This also comes with like a mirror, which is really cool. And I'm just going to smile and look at the apples of my cheeks. And with this brush, I'm just going to tap the color on. So this brush was actually made to be like tapped in. If you're using a regular blush brush that's not as dense as this, you can swipe, but this brush is actually made to do this, which is to kind of tap it in.
Okay.
I like this. It's kind of glowy and soft. How do you feel about the blush?
It's beautiful. Now, I have used Nectar like every day for 2 years. It's my favorite color from Beauty Counter, but this Horizon is fantastic. It's really,
yeah, I really like it. And you can see like that Keisha's a 410 and I'm a 460, and it still works really well on both of us. Mm-hmm. Like we're still both getting some glow action here and some color, which I like.
When clients or people reach out and ask, how pigmented is your product? Is it showing up on skin with more melanin? And that's why I wanted so much for you and I to show, like, yes, like this is the real.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that on you. It's super pretty. Really nice. So yeah, so you're just, you guys, starting at the apples and then kind of lightly blending it back. It's a very sheer kind of wearable blush that blends, so it's easy to do. So now we're going to do some highlighter. So I actually have 2 of these brushes, but oops, I just dropped a brush. I hope I don't need that one. I actually have 2 of these, but the other one is in the queue for washing because I have a makeup lesson this weekend. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to use another type of fan brush. This brush is big and fluffy like that one too. This one's actually better because the denser the brush, the more sheer it goes on and the more natural it is. But I still wanted to show you guys how to do it with a fan if you were interested in getting this amazing brush. I have several of them, like I said, but I'm washing them up for my makeup lessons this weekend.
Brushes. This is the one that I've been using, and I think it's an old MAC brush, but I think I'm like clearly need new brushes. So,
it just gives you like a different sweep. So a long time ago, I used to be on a makeup team for a beauty brand, and we did like makeup for Fashion Week, and we worked with a makeup artist. This was years ago, just shows how old I am, that used to do Amy Winehouse's makeup, and she was our lead makeup artist, and we did the whole look with fans. She was like really into fan brushes. Wow. And so like we did everything, eyes, cheeks, lips, everything with different types of fan brushes. So it was really great to be on her team because I learned so much about like how to, twirl and use a brush and like what the thick ones do versus thin ones and the sharp ones. And it was really cool. And ever since then, I've been a big fan, especially for highlight, to use a fan brush. So we're going to use Beam. And what you want to do is you just want to use it on the top of your cheekbone. So I'm just going to see how I'm sliding it kind of almost in a C with the fan brush. And see how it like just curves right in there. This is why it's so great to have a brush like this, because it kind of does all the work for you. Just kind of like gets in there. Look at that. And then you can take the little crevice and do the center of your nose. Now this is gonna pull your nose forward. So Keisha and I both have like relatively prominent nose areas here. So if we do that, it looks really cool. If you have a really prominent nose and you don't love it, then you could skip, this part right here. But I need all the help I can get. Like shout out to all the girls on here who are Asian and don't have a bridge, and then you feel my pain. I get all my sunglass recommendations from my Asian friends because we're in the same boat. Like we have no bridge. So I like to put a little above my lip because it makes the lip look fuller. And then I put a little on my chin because I like my chin to look like it's projected forward. Again, if you have like a really strong chin and you're not into that, you can skip that part. And I'm just taking whatever's left, because I like to like really glowy around my eyes. I'm just taking whatever's left on the brush and kind of like tapping it over my concealer. You don't have to do that either. And then it gives you like a really nice glow. Now, if you're extra and you like to glow, you can take a mist, and you can set all of your makeup. It will help your makeup to stay on longer, but it will also make all the highlighty stuff more highlighty. So I'm just gonna shake up my mist, and I'm gonna spray all over my face.
Now, can I use the balancing? I still have some of the old school #1, but can I use?
Yeah, you can use balancing. I'm using like a mist that has like rose in it, and it just like once it dries, your glow will be like on 200 instead of just 100, which I'm totally here for. Like I want all the glow.
All the glow I can have.
So yes. While that's setting, then we can get into like eye makeup, and then we'll like look at it in a second and see if it's as glowy as we thought, okay. Or if it's more glowy. So okay. The eye makeup, I'm gonna go smoky because I want to show people if you have like a really deep skin tone, or if you're team drama and you just want a little something extra, how you can smoke out this palette, because this palette is one of those palettes that's a little bit more like kind of clean, light, sheer, pretty. So I'm going to show you how to glam it up just a little bit. If you're on Facebook, I'm at Modern Queen Goddess on Facebook too. Every Friday, I do a makeup tutorial, and we're doing all glam this month. Because every year I ask you guys if you want natural, and everyone's like, no.
No, they want glam. I watch it every year, and that's what people vote for.
Yeah, they're like, no, just glam.
Yeah.
So I'm doing all glam everything. But I didn't get to do glam with this palette, so I want to show you guys like a different look. So if you have deeper skin and you want this pigment to show up, or you're just, like I said, team drama, you just want to take any old black eye pencil. Ooh. And if you're using a natural pencil, you want to warm it up. You can see me do that on the back of my hand, because more natural pencils are more waxy, and they need to be warmed up a little bit to glide on the eye a little bit more. So I kind of warmed it up on the back of my hand, and then I'm not even like trying to make a straight line, so don't you guys do that either, because we're gonna blend this all over our lid. It doesn't even matter.
Ooh.
Also, if you have really deep skin and you find that a palette is too pale for you, this is a way to like instantly beef it up. So if you want it to look, if you want something to look way lighter, then you want to go with like you could use like a white eye pencil or a cream eye pencil underneath your eye makeup. And if you want something to look more smoky, you can use a black. You can even use brown, purple, whatever you want. So you're just literally taking a scary block all over your lid. And then I'm going to take this brush. I love this brush from Beauty Counter. It's just like a flat brush. And you're just going to kind of pull the product up. So start at your lash line and then move up. And you're just basically smudging this all over your lid. But the reason why I like to start from the bottom and then work my way up is because it kind of looks like it's fading into the crease, which just looks a little more, you know, extra professional. It's just as easy to do as going like this, but it just gives it a little extra something. So that's what it looks like without any eyeshadow. So don't be afraid to like go hard, because you're going to cover all this up with shadow. So this is how we're starting. So what are you thinking of playing with? Like, what look are you doing over there?
I do have last year's palette. Like I have Satellite. Should I powder, or should I, like, how do you feel about that?
Like doing a powder and then doing a powder over it?
Like since I don't have a pencil.
If you don't have a pencil, you don't have to do this. I'm going to show you another trick. So you don't have to do this part. We'll just start at the next space. So another trick you can do if you want your shadow brighter. If you don't want your shadow brighter, then ignore everything we're saying. But if you want your shadow to be a little darker or a little brighter, I'm starting with this base. The other cool thing you can do is that you can we're going to be starting with the color Shadow. So another thing you can do is you can just go in and just kind of start packing this color on. You can also take one of your sprays and just spritz your brush and then dip it in the shadow, and that will make the shadow a little more intense, a little more glowy, a little more glam. So that's another way to play with it. So we're just going to take shadow and just kind of drop that all over the lid. And you'll notice if you've used this color before that with the black underneath, it's going to look a lot brighter and a lot more smoky than if you haven't used it before. And if it doesn't look perfect, it's okay because we're going to blend it, so it doesn't matter. But so try it this way with either the pencil or wet the brush. Like just spritz the brush a little bit with one of your sprays and then put it on and see if it looks a lot different. And if it looks like a little crazy in the crease, it doesn't matter because we're going to blend it. Did it look a lot brighter when you did that?
So funny. Every day I'm like, yes, I've never done it with the spray, and it's like popping.
Yeah, if you use a facial spray with your eye makeup, it's literally like you have a new eyeshadow palette because it changes the gleam and the intensity of all the eyeshadows.
Yes, I love it.
So I just kind of have it all over. I have a little bit in my crease here too, and it's not perfect, but that's okay. Because the most important part of putting on your eye makeup, that looks really good on you. I love.
Oh.
The most important part of eye makeup is blending. So you want to take some sort of brush that's like loose and fluffy. This is like my favorite one. This is the 201 from BK Beauty. They're like a vegan makeup brush company. And all you want to do is you want to take that brush, and I'm left-handed, so I like to do everything in big circles, but if you're right-handed, you can literally just go like this. And you just want to get rid of the harsh edges. That's what makes it look like it was professionally done. You know what I mean? It's just getting rid of the harsh edges. And most people either overblend or underblend. So what I like to tell people is count to 3, do 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, and then stop, assess the situation, see if you still have any harsh lines, and then keep going. Because if you underblend, you're going to have harsh lines that you don't like. And if you overblend, you do what makeup artists call blowout, where the eye makeup is like all over your face.
Yep.
And especially with a color like this, like you don't want this all over your face.
Right.
If you're also a dark skin diva and you and the blush is too light for you, like for me, it's perfect. But anyone might be like a slightly darker than me or a dark skin diva, you can use this color shadow as blush. It's sick. It's a sick blush.
So gorgeous.
So pretty.
So gorgeous. As a matter of fact, speaking of dark skin diva, I was doing the Beyonce ride this morning on Peloton. So know about this multi-year deal that they have between Beyonce and Peloton. And so what you have to tell the story. So Tunde is one of the Alex Toussaint, I think is how you say his name, and Tunde are like my favorite instructors, and they are just dripping rich with all sorts of yummy
Love it.
They did the first ride, and I was screaming. Like, the ride was so good, and I was thinking of you because nobody loves Beyonce more than you. And I was like, I am spiritually born. This is the most incredible thing that's ever happened. But amazing that color. But I was going to tell you, when Kai and I, the first time we got together just to go hang out, we went and got coffee like at the mall in DC, and the mall, as in the actual normal mall, not the Washington, like the
not the actual monument,
the store mall. And I was like, you were talking about Beyonce, and it was like, I mean, I respect her. Like, she's incredible. She's the most beautiful woman in the world. But I am Team Solange. I love
Solange too.
Like the way you love Beyonce, I'm obsessed with Solange. But I have to say, and I know you're probably thinking, I don't know if I can be friends with this girl because Beyonce is everything. I was like, yeah, she's okay. I like her. I've changed. Like, 2020 has changed me. Like, Beyonce is like the reason I get up in the morning. I just feel like nothing puts thunder in my veins like Beyonce. So I've changed.
Well, I love you. If you don't know, I love Beyonce. I'm like actually in the Beehive. Like, I'm that chick. Like, no. so just know that. I want to tell you guys what I'm doing on my eye first, so then we can talk about. I just did Ray, and I used like kind of like a skinny brush, and I did it in the inner corner of my eye. And then I'm just taking my blending brush again and just blending out any harsh edges. So just to give it like some like fun light.
I love Ray. It is so pretty.
It's so beautiful. So I love Beyonce as a person, and she's so empowering. And I go to every concert. I watch all the movies. I have all the stuff. I buy Ivy Park. I'm that girl. But Solange's actual style is my like dream style.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm
yes,
obsessed with her hair,
yes,
her clothing, her swag, her music, like everything. She's everything. So that family.
I know. Their mother, Miss Tina, like
Tina, come on.
2 stars. I mean, whew.
Yeah. Tina is everything too. Tina is goals.
Yes.
I don't even buy magazines, you guys. For the most part, I try to save paper. But I remember when Tina Knowles was on the cover of like Essence or something, I was like, buy that. Like, yeah. She's just so amazing.
Yeah.
How are we liking the makeup?
Okay.
Are you having a good time over there?
So is this do I need to blend this out more?
So either you need to blend it out, or you might just need to reshape. So how you can reshape by literally just taking like one of the edges of your blender and just like clean it up.
Oh, okay.
Which I like to do too. I'm telling you, this blender is goals, you guys.
I mean, the uses.
You can just clean it up really easily. And if you still feel like it's not clean enough, then go back in with your blender, with your actual like eye blender, and like clean it up a little bit.
Okay.
And because Keisha has way more eye space than me, so she could even go like ham in the crease even more than me. My eyes, I have hooded eyes and they're smaller, so I have to be like really careful like where the product stops, you know what I'm saying? But if I was working on her eye, like you could even go even crazier, but I love what she's doing right now. It looks really good. So I hope you guys are enjoying the more glam version of this. I know everybody's doing like really later versions, but it's fun. So if you don't have a hooded eye, and if you don't know what hooded eye means, it literally means, you can't see now because I just corrected it. It literally means that you have a piece of skin that folds and touches your lid. That means you have a hooded eye. So if you have a hooded eye, or if you have a deep set eye, which means your eyes kind of press back further into the skull, you do not want to add highlight under your brow, because all that does is emphasize this whole area and bring attention to the fact that you have a hood or that your eyes push back further. But if you have like an almond eye or like a really large eye, go for it. Like the highlight under the brow is really cute, and you can use Aura, which is a great brow highlight. You can use Dawn, and it just gives you like a little pop, which is really fun. I kind of skip it just because of my eye shape. But this is looking really cute. I'm going to shoot this after. I like this look a lot. So I'm going to take some eyeliner, just some black eyeliner. If you want to smoke out your bottom, you can do this. If you don't, then you don't have to do this at all.
Okay.
I'm just taking a little bit of black eyeliner, and then I'm just gonna smudge it out with my finger. I have like pretty small fingers, like, so I can really just get under there pretty easily. If you have a really large finger and you feel uncomfortable doing this, you can use a brush.
That would be me. But
I don't know, it just works for me. And I'm just kind of creating like a little bit of smoke under there. You can also rim the inside of your eye, which I would probably do with this look, but I also don't want to freak anybody out that's watching, like, to look at the inside of my eye. So I'll do that after. And I'm just taking some leftover shadow from the color shadow and smoking underneath. So I'm doing like a full burgundy glam here.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. I'm going to the lady doctor after this, so I'm like, yeah, I don't want to.
They're gonna be like, okay, well, you really went in today.
She did. She's gonna have when you're gonna have a breast exam, no lady part exam, you're just like, I just need to be all lady.
Yeah. Well, I had to do that, was it like a month and a half ago? And it was one of those days where I was like over not wearing cute clothes. And I wore like a full dress, a head wrap, giant earrings.
Right.
The lady's like, where are you going? I was like, nowhere. I'm just bored.
Here, right here. So true.
Yeah. I was like, I'm just bored. So after this, all it would be left to do with this eye is just like a little mascara and then like some sort of fun lip. I need to grab a lip.
So I don't know if it was Amy Winehouse's, but I don't know. I'm not I wear a ton of makeup every day, but I feel naked without liquid eyeliner. I love it. I love the liquid eyeliner. I love a little line and a little push it out. Like, it's so fun to me.
I love it. I love that you love liquid eyeliner. I'm coming out of frame for a second because I need to grab a lip.
Okay.
Hopefully I have one down here somewhere.
Okay. I have a lip color. So our new lip colors,
yeah,
gorgeous and sustainably sourced vanilla. And one of the things that I deeply love about Beautycounter is just the work we're doing, not only to make products safer for all of us, but they should be safe for people who are doing the work to bring us our products. So the work we're doing around vanilla and mica is really, really powerful and makes me very proud.
Me too. So a tip I learned from my girl, Stacey Talk. If you guys don't follow her, she has a blog called Real Everything Blog. I'm obsessed with her. I love her. And she lives like right down the street. So after COVID, I feel like I need to hang out with her. But a tip I learned from her with our mascaras is they're clay based. So if you really want to get the most out of them, you need to either, if you got thick thighs like me, I don't have boobs for this, but if you have thick thighs, stick it between your thighs for a couple minutes and warm up the mascara. Or if you got boobs, stick it in between your boobs. So she'll do her makeup and she'll just leave it in there, and then she takes it out and then does her mascara. And oh my God, you guys, the difference! I was like, oh my God. It really warms the mascara up. So try it. You might become a fan like me. Like, it made me love the mascaras 10 times more because I was like, oh, they're okay, but warmed up, they are the business.
It also is reason number 852 why I like my thick thighs.
Yes, me too. I was like, you know what? These thighs are working for me. I can use them to hold my mascara. I can hold 2 mascaras in these puppies.
Come on. Oh my God, that is so funny. Okay.
Yeah, but I was like, that is the best tip ever. So I found some lips, you guys. I'm gonna do my mascara in a minute once my mascara is already heated up. Okay. I'm gonna use one of these. How are you liking these?
I'm so obsessed with them. I can't even deal with it.
Yeah.
They're so good. They're
so good.
Beautiful. And these colors look so different, like wildly different on different people, but they're just so beautiful. Yeah. So I'm gonna see which one you pick.
I don't know. So I'm thinking because I'm smoky, I don't know. I'm gonna go with, so I thought when I looked at this, I was like, I thought this was gonna be super boring. And I was like, ooh, that looks interesting. And this looks interesting. But this is actually my favorite one of the 3. I mean, the Iris Shimmer.
Oh yeah, I've been wearing that this week.
However, though, they better put this in the line. Like, I'm gonna protest if they don't. Wildberry is really sick, but I feel like everybody I know is tired of me wearing Wildberry. So I'm gonna show you guys this. It's so good, right?
But I've been doing the one you're about to do. I've been doing it all week because I was like, this looks boring. After Wildberry, everything is boring, Please.
So I love this though because it's like no makeup, but for people who are glamorous. Yeah. Because it has like blue and pink reflex in it. Mm-hmm. And I just think it's so cool, especially if you're glamming up your eye. And I love what you did with your to shape your eyes. It looks so beautiful.
Thank you.
So good.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'm gonna do this one. It's my new favorite.
Oh, Wildberry smells so good. And I'm not someone who needs smells. And that's the thing I talk to people about. Like, we have been tricked into believing that we need everything to smell like something. Like one,
Mhm.
everything in products are chemicals. There's no such thing as chemical free. And fragrance masks icky chemical smell. Now,
Mhm.
it's a difference when something is uh, made with like really clean products and smells like heaven. Like this took me by surprise. Wildberry, I can't
Yeah,
stop.
Wildberry is life. It's so good. Um, so you guys, I'm just going back in with my crease brush and just like glam, since I'm going lighter with my lips, I'm just glamming this up because I'm totally gonna snap a photo of this later. Why not?
If you're
I don't wear makeup every day anymore, so anytime I have makeup on, I'm like, I'm gonna make the most of this moment.
come on,
So just see how that kind of popped a little bit more. Oh my God, Wildberry looks insane on you. So good.
it's a fun one.
Ah, so good. She should be like a lip model, don't you guys think? Like, I feel
Well,
like all lip colors look so good on you.
it was it last year or 2 years ago? You did my makeup at your house, and
Mm-hmm.
like, hi, I've never worn red in my life. These lips like these, all you'll see is like big red lips. And you were like, could you knock it off right now? And you put all four of the reds on me, and it
Yeah.
changed my life. I walked out because it was Beauty Counter red, which is an orange red, and I
Yes.
can't do it. I just don't have the confidence. And you were like, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. And
Yes, I did.
I have never been the same again. I wear
Yeah.
red all the time. I'm like, oh, you see lips coming? Okay, well, they're coming. I like love it. Big
If
lips.
you guys have any questions, like let us know before we finish up our makeup. But I want to say something about what Keisha just said. I would say I do a lot of makeup lessons, right? And I would say what what I have a conversation with people about the most, besides their eyebrows, that's a whole nother day, is that they're not using enough lip color.
Hmm.
Like, I'm team nude. Like, I'm not saying don't ever wear nude, but you need to make sure that you are doing something a little bit bolder than like the same everyday basic, because most people, nudes wash you out.
Yes.
You want to have enough color to pull forward. So even like a color like this, because it has all those reflex in it, and because I have all this other color, it works. But would I just wear this with my supernatural makeup? Nope. Because it's not going to give me enough color. It's not going to balance my face out at all. And with me, like, I have smaller eyes and bigger lips, so I need something to balance, and most people do. So I would say one of the mistakes when people ask me like makeup mistakes and stuff is that you're not wearing enough color. So if you're wearing like a pale pinky nude, try a red, try a plum. If you're afraid of them, use a gloss, because it's going to be a little bit easier to pull off, and then you can work your way up to lipstick. But that's a one that once people discover, like, oh my God, like I could have been looking like vibrant this whole time. If lips bring so much color to your face, and if you don't add that color, it doesn't make your skin pop at all.
It's so true. And I honestly, I literally learned that from you. And how old was I before I learned that? Once I did, honestly, I feel like I came into myself. I'm like lips all day. Like, it really transforms the way I feel. So
yeah, lips are important. So do you have any makeup questions for me before we sign off?
I have learned so much today. Every time you teach me, like, I feel like I've learned so many new tips, and then I want to share them with anyone. If you guys have any questions for Kai, it's going to kick us off soon, so please ask. But Modern Grace, you missed it. I was talking about you, bragging about you in the beginning.
Thank you.
Kai is incredible. But besides being obviously a skin expert, a makeup expert, a tea expert, aromatherapist, she is the one. So please give her a follow.
Thank you.
Services, go to her beautiful website. And Kai and I do the same, thing. We work for Beauty Counter. We got into it because we wanted to bring representation to the beauty space, that there needs to be more sisters, and there needs to be more BIPOC in this space, because it's 2020. We are done being defined, like, whoever you are, whatever you look like, you get to define what beauty is. And I think, like, Kai is someone who's taught me, like, you are you. You are not anyone else. You need to like live in the fullness of that. And so I love doing this job with you, sis. I'm so privileged to work with you. And we just bring in all of our sisters with us. So
Absolutely.
thank you for your time.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for thank you for hanging out with me. You look fabulous. You're gonna be the most fabulous girl at the gynecologist, and I'm gonna be the most fabulous girl at Walgreens.
Living our best life, sis.
Yeah.
This is all you need. And honestly, this will I'll be using this for 2 years. I mean, they just last forever. So
it's a lot of product.
Have a great day, love.
Bye. Thanks, guys.